Patak dum dum. Patak dum dum. Patak dum dum. Patak dum dum. Welcome to the channel, Lego fans. I am Mr. Brick City, and I've had this uh, 69 Batmobile Dodge Charger from the Batman 22 film for a few days now, and I'm going to do a full review on the Batman the Penguin Chase. So, first of all, let's look at the key features. You get two minifigures. You get Batman and you get the Penguin. The Batmobile with the missile launchers at the front, spring loaded, and the cockpit has a nice little feature, can be opened as such, quick easy opened, and then obviously I think it just opens a bit too easy for my liking, and it's a bit, so now it's on, now it just pops off, and inside we have the two I put both minifigures in there, him and his Uzi. So we got Batman. I'll get him out in a second. Took his hat off. And then obviously you have the driver's side, and then the other side is got room for a passenger, so I put them both in there for display purposes. Then we got Batman. You can see him. And then of course he's got another face on the back when he's really angry. And then comes with his hair, Bruce Wayne hair, if you wanna not wear his, if you don't want to wear his helmet for whatever reason. And then of course inside the box, I should have thought, is other head and Batman mask. So I'm just gonna do that now. Put his Batman mask on. So that's you've seen that one. Just take his head and hat off, and then of course you've got his other faces. So he's got his other two faces, and the white strip is there for a reason, and the reason being is that so his white, it's got that Lego movie look of white eyes. Before I put his head on, there's something I still got left to do, which is in this little special container out of the way is his cape. Now, I've never really put the cape on yet, but I will do now. Get his body the right way. So cape goes on first, and the cape is a fabric. Put his head on. I don't really like that face, so I want the more this face, and then helmet, and there you go, Batman with his cape. Now I think this Batman, I mean, very standard Batman, no real anything different to make him stand out to the other ones really. Pretty much Same Batman Lego movie like. Shove him over there. And here we go. Now, he's the real star of this show. Now obviously got his head facing out the window because I had him in the passenger seat. And he is the man. Now he's obviously the penguin from the movie, which luckily they went in a different art style, more realistic approach rather than the old school penguin that we all know, which is like that short Danny DeVito version. And the Lego sets previously that had penguins in them they went with the Danny DeVito style. Now this is very unique because I don't think they do have a penguin like this. This is first of this set. You won't find it anywhere else. This is the Penguin Colin Farrell version, and you won't find him anywhere else. So I'm just gonna put him here for a second. If you would. There, how is there? I think the Uzis weighed him down. There we go. I'll just put Batman next to him over here with a cape and have him there. So the camera out a bit more. Right. Now the penguin comes with his Uzi, and the Uzi is actually featured in the movie, but Lego has decided to give him a little missile launcher, but they call it the missile launcher. It's a grenade launcher, and it has these orange discs in them. Also, if you push that, I pushed it before and I almost lost the disc, but for video purposes I'm just gonna smack it against the box and hopefully it won't go anywhere. And you push that and then it flies out. I didn't quite catch that, so I'm just going to try that again whilst I get it in. Sometimes, there we go, that was too fast for the camera. So yeah, and it does travel quite far. I mean, it's easily losable, but there are a few spares in here. I almost did lose one, luckily I found it on time when I was cleaning the floor. Now it's super way down. That's a problem. And a bit of problem with this one, but it is what it is. Where you won't stand because you get the real in this video of what it's like, and you literally won't stand really. Won't stand it, maybe because he's overweight, but if you move his head back a bit, it kind of changes that centre of gravity for it. And then the next one, of course, is the actual thing, the actual Lego set main build is the Batmobile. If I can pop that back on. Yeah, the Batmobile itself, 2 inches high, 7.5 inches long and 3 inches wide. Let's have a quick 360 on it. There you go. That there. And now the Batmobile, obviously the main build, everything, but this, it's got spring loaded launchers on it. Now I'm do the same little demonstration. There we go. And then of course there's 2 more of these in the box. There's the second one there. And just load them back into the Lego front part. Now the other feature are the extra, I guess is for creative play, you get the blue flames. So you get the main one, which is this one, and this goes into the back of the exhaust, just like the movie. If you in the movie, you watch the movie, the blue flame actually does come out from the back. But Lego decided there's also like a bigger piece to go in the back. I stayed with the I've just put the blue one on, but there is a bigger piece for extra changes if you want to make them. There's also 4 different pieces to go in. And of course, I'll put them all on so you can get to see what it looks like with all the blue flames on. These go into this side, into the side ones. The pieces that you just heard, I put Batman's Batman rag in there, so that's what's making that noise. And then of course there's this piece, and you can literally just put them in wherever you feel like it, or wherever you want to, really, because there's no actual right way to do it. But you can put them at the front just for little extras, and then of course there's some that can go into there if you wish. And that's what it actually looks like with this blue flame. And I guess if you get bored playing it without the flames, and obviously if you can without the display, you can also just put it on display with all the blue things on them, blue flames, if you like. And at first there's actually a twin one to go with that one, and this one's a spare, I think, for this one, so this one can go there. So I'll take that one off for now. Oh, I've got some of the pieces off. I've come with it, and I'll put this one into the exhaust just to get it all matching. Matching, and then obviously there's connectors to this as well. If you feel like it, I guess you could add stuff on, and you could take some of these back pieces off, and you can add from a different set or somewhere. You could add extra missile launchers if you can find, or from a different piece or whatever. So I'll show you. If you take this off here, you've got some nice few little extra Lego sets where you can add whatever you want on, if you can find something that fits the purpose. Like for example, I would actually have more weapons on the side if I can find them. If I can get another set that will go like missile launchers on the side or some stuff like that. So that's also little modifications you can do on your own if you get bored, which is, I always wondered. You can obviously, I had them in the previous video. I think I had them both sat on top of here. I thought that looked cool, and I'll put get Batman over there like that. And those are pretty much the features. There's nothing, I think I've covered it all now. So as this Lego set is meant to represent the chase scene, I will do my best to like kind of give you the actual chase scene in my words, and I'll recreate it as I could while you admire and look at the boxes. Get the box all to fit in there. You can have a look at that. Shut that up there. Something just came out, and that's the another spare battle rag missile. So how do we get going? The actual chase scene, or shall I say the spectacular chase scene, and of course the scene starts off with Penguin, portrayed by Colin Farrell, who is unrecognizable in this movie. Like if you were to watch the movie, you wouldn't even see how much you wouldn't even recognize that it is Colin Farrell. I didn't know till afterwards, and they stick with the theme of the Penguin of being disfigured face, but not as Penguin Danny DeVito like has in the future, but more of a realistic look. So if you were to look at his face, he's got scarring on his face to give him the insecurity type of penguin that they have in the past. So they kept the story, but kind of changed it to make it look more realistic. And not without the the big penguin beaked nose like the comic book, but more of a realistic look with a different type of disfigured, a lot of scarring, and an actual penguin in this movie. He flees into the Maserati Quadruporte in his favourite standard penguin-like purple gold colour car, and as far as villain cars goes, on top of the list of the best, most luxurious cars, which is a shame that it's not included in the set, because the actual villain cars, this is like probably it's actually big luxurious car which included, and this car is no joke as well, because in the scene on a straight line, Penguin almost gets away because he goes far ahead over his own car, so it's a powerful car that he drives, and it's a shame that they haven't put in the set, or they should make another set just for that car. I'd love to have that Lego set on that car. Once he begins to drive off, and then begins the actual chase scene as he flees into his car, and Batman jumps into the Batmobile 600 Dodge. And I think this is one of the first introductions to the car in the movie, I know. And even at one point in this movie, like, it's not just the introduction of the car, it's the introduction of, I just feel like Penguin at one point says, "Oh, this guy is crazy," as his car is getting rammed in the back by the Batmobile. This kind of illustrates how we as the viewers are being introduced to Batman. So is Penguin. violently being introduced to him and other villains, as Penguin in this movie is the leader of the crime in the city. One of the reasons what makes the scene so outstanding is how chaotic the chase scene is. Ramming into each other, banging into other cars. It's a chase scene slash street race. Fast and Furious franchise should be taking notes on this one. The Penguin's panic in his voice only makes it more realistic, and Batman relentlessly chasing him down shows the one hero like Batman and more of his other name in this movie, which is vengeance. And as Batman is raining down his vengeance upon thee, you as the viewer feel every impact and every slam. At one point, another point is that Penguin's desperate attempt rolls down his window and takes out his Uzi, the black one, which is in the movie, and he takes down the Uzi and he like desperately just shoots at the window of Batman's car. And if you were to see this movie, like if you were to watch this scene and you see the scene, like, you know what I mean, not even a flinch or even like, oh, but you know what I mean, there's bullets flying my way. Batman doesn't even do anything like that and just stares directly at him in like distaste and quite frankly like a straight up G. While the bullets are bouncing off the cracked bulletproof glass, soon after Penguin is cornered between two trucks and Batman is right behind, predator like, hunting him down. And as Penguin screams pleading for the car in front to get out of the way, he's like, he slams into the, he's like, get out of the way, get out of the way, and he won't get out of the way. And then he's just pleading, like begging this person to get out of the way. And he's kind of stuck, almost like a trapped prey, cornered. And then what he does is he slams the truck, causing the massive explosion. And this is where you get the big massive explosion scene. And he sees, look in the rear view mirror after this explosion happens, and all behind him is like these trucks are just crashing into them. Boom. He all and triumphantly screams, "I got you, you freaking psycho! I got you, freaking psycho!" Like he's like so happy that he's got away. Like, oh yeah, finally did it. And what you see in the rearview mirror, you see Batman's car flying through the sky like a bat of hell, swooping in for dinner. This and then lands directly right behind Penguin. This sends Penguin's car doing circles on the road, upside down, and and then Batman just casually walks out of his car and just walks down slowly, like completely in control, and then just kind of just walks down, and you see amongst the flames a silhouette of Batman, and it's and it's on top of that is in the eye view of the camera shot that he's done is the eye view of Penguin, and Penguin's of course upside down, so you as a camera is also upside down, and it's an amazing shot actually. I really like this shot. It's what makes this movie like go down. Like this scene is what makes this movie. And then of course it doesn't just end there. Batman is actually just curiously just bends down curiously, almost like this, like an absolute, and he just kind of like just looks at him like that, like that. And he approaches him in like in such a like a animalistic way. He just kind of like just bends down like that, like in a such an animalistic way, like a predator catching his prey out in the wild, while a is penguin is kind of like hidden in a hole of some kind. And then that's how the scene ends. So a little bit of history of the Batmobile itself, because it's the main feature of the set, is based on the '69 Dodge Charger, and then Batman's DIY modifications, of course. There's reason to why this Batmobile is very unique to the other previous Batmobiles. This reflects Robert Pattinson's portrayal of Batman, or I like to call Robert. Robert. This Batman is more of a young, introverted, not very social Batman, to be fair. Batman has always been introverted, but would only pretend to be a rich playboy, Bruce Wayne character persona. And this movie is not very well known, so he doesn't have to put on a persona. And I always felt like Batman just kind of like pretends to be this playboy to take, obviously, to denounce the fact that he actually is Batman. And there's a reason why it is a sort of a DIY street racer type of Batmobile, because in his early days, the Batman in this movie, the little bit of history of Batman in this movie, he was an avid street racer, which explains why the chase scene is street racer like, and the Batmobile is very street racer like and modified to accommodate such activities. The other reason he doesn't much, because he's a bit kept himself to himself. He hasn't got the connections to the Wayne Industries yet to get a military grade manufactured Batmobile like he did in the like in the other movies, other Batman movies. Like for example in the Christopher Nolan uh, Batman trilogy, Bruce kind of just stumbles upon the Batmobiles, military ones. Remember they were all camouflaged up, and he asked Morgan Freeman character to paint them black, and I'll take them as, just looking at different vehicles in the past. So he's more knows very well known of the Wayne Industries, but at the moment, in this movie, they kind of gone for more of with a more realism, makes this Batmobile more realistic, more realism, like how would Batman actually will kind of DIY stuff and suss things out himself and make a Batmobile on his own. The actual Batmobile is equipped with a V8 engine, as 69 Dodge Chargers do, and built upon the V8 Charger is this engine here, because this is extra stuff that they added on this engine. So if you look at the back, the engine's just kind of like, of course, and unfortunately it's not a real engine. This engine's actually a fictional one that they've done for the movie, but underneath all the fictional is a V8 engine. The front bumper, if you can see, is just like the movie. It's reinforced. If you have a look, so he's added that extra on as he tries to so the front bumper is modified to accommodate those extra. That's why it was ramming in the back of Penguin's car, for a little stronger bite. And then we got the tires. If you can have a look, so just like in the movie, they got these extra rim. If you can have a look, little spikes on these rim, of course, and that's for his ramming and slamming needs. In the scene, there is a jump feature on the car, because he just press a button and it just kind of lifts up a bit to give him a jump scene boost, possibly. And then street racer nitrous oxide injected engine, just creating the blue flames. Bulletproof glass, because Penguin does shoot his glass at one point, and and the bullets are cracking the glass, but they're not going through. The Lego version, of course, is slightly different to the movie. For example, this bit, these are the front bits here. This side here, in the movies, it shines red. And I'm not sure if this is a mistake or if Batman was asked to remove it. Too many traffic violations, possibly. I don't know. But it's not on there. Right. Right off the bat, the set doesn't include Penguin's Maserati. So, I mean, it says Batman chasing. It isn't much of a chase if Penguin's on foot and Batman's in a car. And as I previously said, I do hope there's a set for the Maserati. And I wish, yeah, so we have the full set. The Batmobile itself, it doesn't go left or right, it just goes up and down and straight. I mean, there must be a way if you can get them onto there and fix that, because these turn. So I'm wondering if I could play around with it and modify it, and then I can get these wheels to turn. I haven't actually tried that yet. Should have done. Sorry, what can you say? It's not so much time in the day. But yeah, you could get it turning, but I'm not really playing with it anyway. I'm just putting it on display, to be honest. So I guess you could do that. That needs somewhere to there. All in all, it took me approximately like 6 hours to build the actual car itself, and all the Lego size. I followed the books to a T. Yeah, I might have. Yeah, for the T, I didn't do anything. I had a few spares left over and all. And I'm guessing the features are awesome for a little one to play with, especially the flames. You can change them around and do whatever you like. And that's it. The Batmobile, I think, is really decent to put on display. I'm well chuffed with it. I'd like to have a look, just put it on display. And I think it's really cool. And I think it's really cool without the flames. But obviously the flames are there for a reason. I don't have them for that reason. So you can take them off and have it like the back. This is the way I like it. And then I've done the same thing. I've taken that bit off. There's a little bit here that needs going back on. I'll put this back on here. That was in there. Yeah. It's a Lego, so things do come apart when you try taking things off. But luckily, I know which pieces go where. This is how I keep it on display. I really like the back. The back looks really good, especially with these stickers on. So I'm well happy that I got them stickers on properly. And this is what the bottom looks like. They've got these little special circles on there. Yes, to reinforce these bits and make it quite slippy and smooth. And if you can tell, the actual Batmobile itself, these back tyres are a bit lower than the right tyres to give it that kind of streamline down. For the Ford's a bit down, and then the higher to give it that little streamline look to it. I haven't actually tried getting the wheels to go lower to make it higher, but I think you could probably do that. I'm not sure. I'll put Batman back over here. I'll get Penguin to stay right there and all. And what I'll do is I'll turn him around for a bit so you get to look at that nice engine in the back. I think it's worth the price. If you're a big fan of the movie and Lego, it's a no-brainer, it's a must-buy. And I think I'm a big fan of both, so yeah. And yeah, that's it guys. Thank you for watching my video. And I'm Mr. Brick City. Latest.